Just be glad you're not James Howells, the now infamous IT specialist from Wales who started mining Bitcoin pretty much at its inception in 2009 and had 7,500 Bitcoin on a hard drive. They were worth around $6 total at the time. So he put the drive in a drawer, pretty much forgot about it, and then accidentally threw away the hard drive. Yes, you felt it. His 7,500 Bitcoin would be worth over $270 million today if he hadn't thrown them away. So in today's video, we'll look at the big reasons why we fail and what you can do about them to start winning in your do-over. Hi, my name is James Callahan, and I would love to have 7,500 Bitcoin today. But just like the other famous James, we're both out. Well, I never had them in the first place, and he had them and threw them away. So which one is better? This can help us learn something so important and so difficult. The fear of failure, sometimes so strong that it stops us before we ever even try. You're probably going to fail anyway, so why even try, right? That's called self-rejecting, and it's a real problem, especially for do-overs. We tell ourselves, it's never going to be good enough, I won't submit it. We don't apply for jobs because we think, I'm not that person, I'm not qualified enough. That job's asking for someone so much better than me, so I won't even bother to apply. Interestingly, women tend to downplay their qualifications for jobs, and men tend to overestimate their qualifications for jobs. Go figure. Second and third guessing is just slow walking our self-rejection, and it makes it even hurt more and longer. And it triggers a visceral response. It hurts so much that we keep ourselves from trying in the first place. Now, James Howells hasn't given up yet. He's offered the Welsh Council 25% of the fine. He's even got a backer to put up the money up front. But they've balked at the idea. They're not sure about the environmental impact in digging up a landfill, and they're not even sure if the hard drive is still, well, usable. The hardest thing about this story is not mining Bitcoin when it was worth 0.0008 cents, or buying it at $50 or $500. The difficult part of this story is holding it until it reached $35,000 or $40,000, which it did recently, and then knowing what to do with it. Well, sell it, right? But what if, when, Bitcoin goes to $400,000. The hardest part of making money is getting it to work fast and then letting it do its job. Jesse Livermore, the semi-fictional character of one of the most famous books about the greatest stock trader ever. Enough superlatives? The book is entitled Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, and it includes this easy to remember, nearly impossible to practice rule: the art of sitting in your chair. After spending many years in Wall Street and after making and losing millions of dollars, I want to tell you this. It never was my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. Got that? My sitting tight. His motto? Be right and sit tight. But for most of us, we cut our winners, hold our losers, and even average down, refusing to admit that we could be wrong even once. If the stock was a good deal at $10, it's an amazing price at $5 or even $2, so we buy more in hopes of not being wrong. But winners don't win every time, in investing, in sports, in life. But they learn how to win bigger and lose better. They know what wrong feels like and probably hate losing more than they love winning. So they move on, knowing that there's more upside in sitting in the winner's chair than riding a loser to poverty. So why do we fail? It can't be just that we fail to try. It can't be that simple. Instead, it's because we don't try again when we do fail. When something doesn't go our way, when something doesn't go the way we wanted to or planned it. And then failing becomes so devastating that we would rather avoid the feeling altogether than try again. Here are some painful numbers to consider. 20% of all new startups and small businesses fail within the first year. 30% fail before the end of their second year. 50% fail before they reach their fifth year. And 70% of all small businesses and startups fail before their 10th year. So why do most businesses, startups, and do-overs fail? It could be bad ideas, bad marketing, or probably no marketing, because we create things that we love and no one else wants. And after you sell it to your mom and to your best friends, you run out of customers. Well, these are the obvious reasons, and it leads to the number one cause of small businesses going out of business, and that is they just run out of capital. And 2020 put obvious additional pressure on small businesses struggling to survive. But did you know that 71% of small business, startups, and entrepreneurial efforts never try a second time? And those that do try a second time but don't change anything fail at the same rate or even faster. It's called the attribution fallacy, when we blame everyone and everything else for the failure of our effort, almost guaranteeing that we will never succeed in a do-over or a second or third try. It's always someone else's fault, and we do that to protect our egos. Our biggest enemy might not be that 17th coffee shop that opened up down the street after we opened up the 16th coffee shop on the same block. It might be a bad idea. It might be our bad idea. It's never been easier to be an entrepreneur, to be your own boss, to set your own schedule, and to get all the glory and riches you know you deserve. But that's not all or even most of what it means to be an entrepreneur. For a new take on what is an entrepreneur, check out this video. The attribution fallacy is so hurtful to us because it keeps us and our futures from the opportunity to learn. We put all of our eggs in one basket and our one try, and it has to be perfect. Even though we don't have any real experience to justify our overly optimistic estimate and the pressure we put on ourselves to get it right the first time. And the same goes for do-overs. Most don't try after one devastating failure, but failures are only devastating if we don't try again. Because of those who do try a second time, over 80% are successful in their second or third or fourth try. And the more they try, the longer they succeed each time. As one recent study offers, given the slight chances of success, it's a marvel anyone starts a business at all. 1/3 of new ventures close within 2 years, half within 5, and so on. Only 1 in 4 is still around 15 years after opening day. But all that failure may offer its own reward. Researchers found that failed entrepreneurs are more likely to be successful in their second go-around, provided they try again. So where does this leave you? You've heard of the motto, fail fast? Well, here's an even better motto, fail better. There's a new cult-like niche in leadership and self-help circles about learning to fail forward, fail fast, fail first. And I get it, because failure isn't rare. And successful entrepreneurs, they know that. But unless we can learn to do something different that second or third time, even our do-overs are doomed. Unless you become your very own entrepreneur, not with fast cars and private planes and fully funded angel investing, but with true entrepreneurship, the kind that learns and adds with each new do-over, the kind that pays the bills and makes your better life possible. Thanks so much for being part of the Do-Over Show, and be sure to tap the like button and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. I'm so glad you found me and I found you. Thank you.